Cast your mind back to 2001 and you were hard pushed to find anyone that wasn't desperate to try out a Segway. But fast forward to 2020 and the product has missed every sales target possible and become the butt of nearly every joke in Silicon Valley. So what led to the decline of Segway? And with sales of e-bikes and scooters booming across the world, why did Segway fail? Here's how it happened. Segway was invented by Dean Kamen, creator of the iBot electronic wheelchair on which the Segway was originally based. The device was developed under huge secrecy at the University of Plymouth in the UK, with the help of aerospace companies BAE Systems and Sumitomo Precision Products. The first model, known as the Segway PT, short for Personal Transporter, was unveiled live on Good Morning America in 2001, with customers first able to get their hands on one in early 2002. The product had 3 speed settings of 6, 8 and 10 miles per hour, controlled by a twist grip handle that also managed the steering, while the forward and backward motion were operated simply by leaning into the footpad as desired. Heavy speculation and fanfare surrounded the release, with well-known venture capitalist John Doerr suggesting that Segway could be more important an invention than the internet, and even Steve Jobs going as far as to say it would be as big as the PC. Segway offered a range of up to 10 miles on a single 6-hour charge, and Kamen promised that the Segway would be to the car what the car was to the horse and buggy. But after projecting 100,000 sales within its first year, the invention sold only 140,000 models in its entire lifespan, which stretched nearly 20 years. So what was the cause of Segway's poor reception and eventual but complete failure? For starters, the price tag of $5,000 on release proved too much for consumers to spend on a luxury item. On top of that, Segway just wasn't very cool. A former Segway employee actually told CNN that there was a significant dork factor associated with the product. Footage of President George Bush using one seemed to do more harm than good, as he was clocked crashing his ride while on the driveway of his parents' home, shortly after receiving a lesson on how to drive it. Segway was also resigned to recalling the first 6,000 models sold, as a software glitch meant the battery died without a warning, throwing the user helplessly to the ground. But to summarise Segway's biggest problem, it simply didn't fit into modern society. It wasn't practical enough to replace a car for longer journeys, to go shopping or travel around town, and wasn't safe, cheap or convenient enough to be used for much shorter journeys. Segway continued to develop their product, bringing out new models with greater range, reduced charging time and lean-controlled steering. But it seems consumers' opinions couldn't be shifted, as by 2007 the company had met just 1% of their projected sales targets. Despite a starring role in Paul Blart Mall Cop, that was where the product's use basically ended, as Segway became known for its limited uptake among tourists and police officers. In 2009, Kamen's Segway Inc. was sold to British entrepreneur Jimi Hesenden, who tragically died just 10 months later driving one of his own devices off a cliff in Leeds. Segway's bad press continued to pile on, as Steve Jobs retracted his praise of the invention, later claiming it sucks and describing it as neither elegant nor innovative. Compilation videos of Segway fails started to fill YouTube, most notably wiping out Jamaican sprint superstar Usain Bolt following his 200-metre win in 2015's Beijing World Championships. Segway Inc. was then acquired by Chinese tech startup Ninebot in 2015, in a final attempt to reinvigorate the company's sinking fortunes. Ninebot consequently released the Segway Mini Pro, a smaller self-balancing scooter controlled by applying pressure from the user's knees. But the Asian firm's investment proved too little too late to save the doomed Segway. Ninebot announced that they were ceasing production of the Segway PT in July 2020, laying off 21 employees. Maybe Segway was too innovative for its own good, or maybe its New Hampshire office was never destined to become the tech centre of the 21st century. Whilst Segway certainly wasn't helped by the lack of safety regulations and the recent boom in electric scooters, what really cost them was most likely lacking a purpose and a target audience. Maybe Ninebot's current developments, including an electric go-kart and a sports scooter, will prove more popular and finally make a tangible impact on the mobility industry. And that's how it happened. Comment below with what you'd like to see in future videos, and thanks for watching.